Good day, Earth viewers. Join me as we give you today's top news headlines.
It's hard to believe it, but we are headed to the third government shutdown of Donald Trump's second term in office. These things used to be pretty rare. Now they are very common. And this one has to do with one agency in particular, the Department of Homeland Security, which encompasses a wide range of programs, everything from FEMA, like dealing with natural disasters, or TSA, like airline security. The Coast Guard falls under the Department of Homeland Security. But this fight has to deal with one issue in particular: immigration enforcement. Democrats are saying that they will not vote for a bill to fund the Department of Homeland Security unless serious changes are made to the way President Trump deploys ICE officers across the country. Among the demands they are making: forcing ICE officers to remove their masks, having them wear body cameras, changing how use of force policies are being employed. Also, judicial warrants, making those part of immigration enforcement actions. Republicans say some of these demands go too far. And the Speaker of the House told me that the White House has made some serious concessions.
So does the White House need to move closer to what the Democrats are proposing here?
I saw the last proposal sent over from the White House. It is eminently reasonable and gives on some very meaningful provisions that were part of the discussions. It seems to me the appearance here is that some Democrats, House and Senate, want a government shutdown. They want to impose more pain on the American people. For what? I have no idea.
But Senate Democratic leader Chuck Schumer said that the White House has not gone far enough and that Democrats are prepared to dig in. The deadline to fund the Department of Homeland Security is actually 11:59 p.m. Eastern on Friday night. But here's the big problem. The Senate is already gone. Senators left town on Thursday afternoon. And the House is gone too. House members left on Thursday morning. And on top of that, both chambers are on recess next week for President's Day. And all that means that even if a deal is miraculously reached, a government shutdown could drag on for some time, past next week and maybe even longer.
We're asking today for the exact same thing that we had 2 weeks ago. Extend this funding for 2 more weeks.
We want to fund the Department of Homeland Security, but only a department that is obeying the law. And for that reason, I would object.
These Buddhist monks have been walking for 4 months, traveling all the way from Texas to Washington, D.C. Why? For peace. Their journey began back in October of last year in Fort Worth, Texas, nearly 2,000 miles from here. Along the way, the troop has shared a message of mindfulness, with their leader expressing hope that the people they meet along the way will find peace.
With everything that's happening now, we all need this.
People need hope, and they need to feel like there is a sense of calm in the chaos.
I couldn't think of a stronger message to be sending around the country right now.
For the last 108 days, a sacred number in Buddhism representing spiritual completion, the group has walked this same single file line step by step. But the trip has not been without incident. In November, an escort vehicle that accompanied the monks as they walked alongside a highway in Houston, Texas, was hit by a truck, injuring 2 of the monks. One of them had to have his leg amputated. Their trip back to Texas is likely to be a lot quicker and easier, as they are expected to commute back via...
This is no ordinary movie trailer. It's actually the CIA's latest recruitment video in Mandarin targeting Chinese military officers. People notice the world's premier spy agency seems to be getting the hang of producing slick Chinese videos to use as job ads at a time of increasingly heated rivalry between the two superpowers. Now, this latest video was released just a few weeks after the shocking purge of China's top general. And fear and disillusionment certainly a major theme throughout this and 2 earlier CIA videos aimed at persuading Chinese Communist Party officials to spy for the U.S. to give their families a brighter future. While CIA officials say their campaign has been successful, experts are more skeptical given China's sprawling high-tech surveillance, not to mention changing global perceptions about the U.S. Some analysts say these videos are more of a sign the CIA is still recovering from the fatal blow to its operations in China when Beijing decimated its informant network starting in 2010, something that's been tacitly acknowledged by Chinese authorities. And they, unsurprisingly, have both mocked and blasted these videos, calling the CIA an international laughingstock and warning Washington against such naked provocation.
These school children are being scanned for vapes. as part of a plan to reduce vaping in schools.
When you walk up the hill, you can just see cloud. It's like a constant cloud. Because there's a good solid 20 kids doing it, walking up the hill. It is a problem.
A pilot project sees the students themselves tackle the issues by delivering peer support sessions.
We have form time sessions about the impacts of vaping, how people may feel peer pressured.
The sessions have made a big impact for those students struggling with vaping.
I felt like I was letting my mum down, if that makes sense, and it just made me feel like really down about myself and really sick.
It was not nice at all, and I just constantly felt unwell and just gross in myself.
Police have named 18-year-old Jesse Van Rootselaar as the suspect in the Canada school shooting. 6 people were killed and dozens were injured at Tumbler Ridge Secondary School. 2 others, the suspect's mother and stepbrother, were found dead at a nearby home. A motive for the attack is still unknown. Here's what we know so far. Authorities said Van Rootselaar was born a biological male, but identified as a woman, and that they had attended the suspect's family home on multiple occasions over the past several years, with some calls related to mental health concerns. Police said Van Rootselaar had dropped out of Tumbler Ridge Secondary School 4 years ago, and previously had a valid gun licence that had since lapsed. Officials say Van Rootselaar was found dead at the school from a self-inflicted gun injury. Meanwhile, hundreds of mourners have gathered in Tumbler Ridge's main square to remember the victims.
The billionaire co-owner of Manchester United says the UK has been colonised by immigrants. It wasn't the only claim he made during a TV interview on Sky News. Let's go through some of them. Sir Jim Ratcliffe says the population of the UK was 58 million in 2020. Now it's 70 million. He's wrong. Official data shows the UK population was estimated to be 66.8 million at the end of 2020, and it's estimated at 69.7 million at the end of 2025. So an increase of around 2.8 million, not 12 million. Referring to immigration, Sir Jim says the UK has been colonised. The Oxford English Dictionary lists a definition of colonise as to settle a place or region, especially as part of an effort by a state to establish political control over it. For example, what Britain did historically across the British Empire. But it doesn't match what's happening with immigration to the UK today. Clearly, some anti-immigration voices are using the term for a different purpose, to suggest areas of the UK have been changed by mass immigration. There's been a public backlash to Sir Jim's comments, including from the Prime Minister, football fans and anti-racism groups. In a statement, Sir Jim says he's sorry his choice of language has offended some people, but says it's important to raise the issue of controlled and well-managed immigration.
Thanks for watching, and please subscribe.